All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. For those of you guys that were here on, I think it was Tuesday of last week, I told everyone that I was going to have a little bit of a surprise for you guys. And here he is, back from the grave. Yes, he's not dead. I went to the graveyard. I found his casket. I dug him up. And I brought him back to life, baby. Had to do a little bit of mouth to mouth, so it's kind of weird. We won't talk about that in depth. But Nostalgianomics is back, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys all have him for another 2 hours. We're going to talk about everything and anything related to what he's been up to, as well as just anything and everything going on with Pokemon. And my face is already frozen. Love to see it. But you want to just introduce yourself for those people who don't know you, which I think most people do, but...
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't, I'm Alex. My channel is Nostalgianomics. I guess I started my channel, earlier this year, and I've been away for a little while, taking care of some personal life, changing jobs, all kind of fun stuff, but I'm back now, and so, since Eli was having me on this channel, I felt I had to get back to YouTube, and I made a video today, and I'm going to try to get back at it, and so, I finally got some time back on my hands, so I'm going to start making videos again. But it's similar to what Eli's got here on Pokemon USA, Pokemon investing type content, and just kind of my take on the market and things like that, so. Okay.
Oh, I also had my mic muted, but all right, you guys should be able to hear him a lot better. Sorry, you want to you want to say what you just said to everyone?
All right, so yeah, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Alex. I have a channel called Nostalgianomics. Basically the same type of content, not quite exactly the same, but same, genre, I guess, like Pokemon investing, market type talk, finance type talk on my channel. I started in the YouTube space earlier this year. Been away for a little bit, a few months now, getting my personal life all situated, but back now and expect to be making regular content again. So everyone get it that time?
Yeah, everyone should get it. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, after much persistence and checking in, I'm glad that you're finally back. I've been someone, obviously, we've been following each other's content for a while. I've had you on probably the most out of all the people that I've collabed with, and I've been on your channel a couple of times too. And so for me, it was something that I was like, all right, this guy's channel is just now starting to grow. I see the potential. He's got a loyal fan base of a bunch of plebeians. No, I'm just kidding. And they all are, of course, huge fans of him. And just to see you fall off the map, I was like, all right, where'd he go? We need to bring him back. And so I was obviously consistently messaging you about, hey, when are you coming back? Are you going to come back? I want you to come back on a live stream with me. I would love to have you be back and stuff. So it's glad that we finally got to that day. It's glad to see you here. So I'm super excited. And today as well for you guys, I know traditionally that with my Q&As, I usually ask questions of the guest, but we all know Nostalgianomics really well, or at least I would say I do enough to where I don't have to do a Q&A of who he is, unless of course you don't know who he is, then just gave you the brief synopsis. So the main focus is we're just gonna give you all free reign when it comes to asking any questions, whether it be related to us or whether it be related to him or me, whatever that looks like. But without further ado, as always, if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways, make sure to smash the like button, leave a like, and comment down below. And subscribe to the YouTube channel, sorry. Like twice if you can, right? But jumping into it, is there any kind of things you want to preface by saying to all those fans that have missed you so near and dear? This is your formal apology video, as everyone has so greatly missed you. No, just kidding.
I gotta make a YouTuber apology video now. No, I mean, I released a video this morning, basically. So, in the past few months, I've just been in the transition of selling off company I owned and worked for the past 10 years of my life, and kind of I took a job in the corporate world. And so I've just been in that transition of marketing my business, finding a buyer, and going through that whole transaction, transferring all the books and all the customers over, helping him kind of with any questions getting started, while also working my new job. And so basically doing two full-time jobs for the past few months. And I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have 1 ounce of free time to make a video, but very limited free time. Any free time I did have was spent literally just on the couch watching a movie with my wife before I eventually went to the bedroom and passed out for the day. So, yeah, I just didn't have the energy, enthusiasm, or really the time to make a quality video and quality content. So that's why I stepped away. And yeah, I mean, Eli's not lying. He is probably one of the reasons why I did get finally back on and make the videos. He reached out to me a few times. I think we were supposed to do this live stream a few weeks ago, and I'm glad we're finally doing it. So yeah, that's basically where I've been. There's no huge story. I didn't go all in on some Pokemon product and lose all my money. I didn't get fed up with YouTube and call it quits. I don't know. None of the I guess rumors that may have been out there, if there were any. So nothing crazy happened. I just literally got too busy for it, and something had to give, and YouTube was it for the time being. But I'm back now, so we're good.
Well, it's funny because like I've talked about it. I messaged you about it, like kind of half joking, but I was recording a video and I was doing some of my lives and I was going through and I was talking about like, yeah, Pokemon Go product. I think Pokemon Go is at a really good price. It's a really good opportunity to buy now because it's so cheap. And literally we go to the listings for the ETBs and the lowest price available, it said Nostalgianomics. And so I was like, oh, Nostalgianomics is selling off his Pokemon product. Man, I haven't heard from him in a while. I wonder if he like went too invested in Pokemon Go and everything just crashed. And so everyone started like concocting their theories of like, oh, he went too hard in the paint. He heard about the Celebrations reprint or whatever, whatever it might be. But it was definitely funny to see the memes that were coming out about it.
Yes, I didn't go all in. I mean, I bought 10 cases of Pokemon Go. I expected the same kind of trajectory that a lot of the sets had done, is where it came out of the gate, it was hyped up, it was hot, and usually they would, have a quick jump, and I was hoping like, 50s, 60s a box, and then before, be able to get out of a good amount of them before the reprint, lock in a little bit of profit to move on. Didn't work out that way. It was a lot more printed and a lot less popular than I thought. And yeah, so I ended up having 10 cases and I sold out of 8 of them. So I just kept 2, which was really all I wanted to have going forward. But yeah, I got out of some on Facebook Marketplace for even. Because I didn't have to pay like fees and stuff, so I didn't lose any money on some. And then the other ones that did sell on like TCG Player and eBay with shipping and fees, definitely lost some money. But all in all, after like all 8 cases, I ended up coming out with like $350 loss total. And so yeah, I mean, it's a hit, but I mean, when you do stuff like this long enough, you're gonna take losses here and there, and definitely wasn't anything like to make me quit YouTube or walk away from Pokemon or anything like that. It was just a bad play, and I just got out and moved on. That's all Pokemon Go was.
Yeah, you take your risks, and obviously as the market's adapting, you got to be able to make those adjustments. And here we are with the newest set. Obviously, we've got Silver Tempest has just been released about a week ago, and now we're moving on, obviously, to Crown Zenith. So we've got a lot going on. But rather than me, like I said before, just sitting and asking you all the questions, we're gonna leave that to the chat. So this is more or less gonna be a Q&A for Nostalgianomics, and of course, if there's questions that you have for both of us, I'll answer them. But yeah, we're gonna mainly
see all the familiar names in the chat, so it's good to see everyone. I mean, a lot of people I recognize from like my comment section, and then I got old card shop in here. He's always fun. He's always fun to have around. So. Should be a good time.
All right, let's start picking up some questions. Let's see. What's a good one? What perspective have you gained from the last two special sets between Celebrations and Pokemon Go?
What perspective? I mean, I just think the whole world, the whole country is just in a, I don't know if we want to call it a recession, but definitely a downtime. I don't think, I mean, Magic the Gathering's having the same type of issues. I mean, I think it's just things are not moving at the trajectory and the speeds and the hype they used to. And I think it's just gonna be more of the same, the kind of old like Warren Buffett type mindset on these things. It's gonna be that slower grind, that slower stable rise. Um, Best way to think about it is, you know, people who invest in things for long term, they're not like clicking the buy button on a stock and then the next day or the next week looking at the price of it and saying, "Oh my gosh, I made a mistake, I gotta dump it," or "Oh my gosh, it's up, we gotta sell it." I mean, you get to look at the long term of things. And I think if you kind of go back at least all the sets released in 2020 and most of the ones released in 2021, they're all, I mean, all the booster boxes there, I think, are higher than what they came out at, if not the same. So, I mean, overall, I think things are performing still pretty steadily, like they always have, like they probably always will. I just think there's a lot of price movement, a lot of craziness in the short term, and I just don't think it's anything to get all riled up about. I mean, we just talked about it. Pokemon Go, yeah, it didn't perform like the earlier special release sets did. Or it didn't jump up like a Champion's Path or Shining Fates, or it didn't do any of that, right? But I mean, it's just because it's a different time and place in the world right now. So it's not that I think that Pokemon as a whole or the hobby has completely changed or anything. I think it's just that time. What do you think about it?
I would definitely say that when you're talking about specialty product, there's definitely no denying that the market itself has drastically shifted. I would say personally, when looking at just the general trends chart and then looking at the performances of a lot of products, obviously the market in and of itself has so many different sectors. You can't just say everything's going to be very like the same. Like sure, there's general macro perspective when it comes to how the hobby performs, but when it comes to WotC versus standard rotation versus somewhere in the middle of that, they're all going to do their different things because they all have different aspects to them. Like WotC's not going to get a reprint, but Evolving Skies could, or Celebrations. Like any of these sets are going to have their own considerations, right, in terms of how they're going to perform. And obviously when the market really started to kind of come down to reality, you saw WotC get hit the hardest because it was at the time the most overvalued. And with that, ultra modern products, the question was, are we going to ever see booster boxes ever below $100? And of course we did, because reprints were still a thing and people forgot about them. So it's definitely more or less, I would say, you've seen the market stabilize to a point where it's in a healthy position as prices have come down for the most part, but there's still, I feel as if, a lot of correction in certain sectors that, need to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do happen, just based on how things are still going with inflation and gas prices and world economic factors. So that's kind of where my stance is on that. Long term, when we get into our next boom, we're definitely going to see specialty products be double MSRP or however long. But I mean, if we look at Crown Zenith and we're already able to get pre-orders for that product at MSRP or lower, and it's supposed to be hyped up as one of the best sets in the Sword and Shield era, that really has me to believe that, hey, we're back to reality, at least to some extent. But also, we can segue into this as the next topic. A Celebration Ultra Premium Collection, you can still make opportunities off a high demand product. You can still, flip booster boxes or elite trainer boxes or specialty products that are well over MSRP because the demand is so high. You still have certain segments of product like that. But as I've demonstrated in my previous videos before, that was something that always was a thing, even outside of this whole parabolic move. People just either have short-term memory or a lot of people are new. But with that being said, segueing into the next question, people are asking, what's your kind of thoughts on the CUPC? Is that something that you've picked up any of and, kind of taking it from there?
Zero of them. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I'm some kind of genius. I think I just been so busy that I didn't have enough time to really get into it and research it. I thought about just buying a bunch just blindly just because it was Charizard UPC, but I never got around to it. I just kind of let it sit. Worked out really good. I actually just talked to Dan at Catch 'em All Collectibles today about it, and he was telling me like that, most all. I mean, you probably know this. Like the what am I looking for? The wholesale price on it is like $80, and so they're getting basically these are being sold for no profit. I mean, if you're getting them for $90, the stores are buying them for 80 after shipping fees, whatever they pay. They're really not even making a profit at this point, and so they're kind of. I always am hesitant to use the word like floor or bottom because anything can do anything, but it's starting to look like they could be near a bottom. I mean, the stores aren't even going to make a profit. I don't know how many stores are willing to just let them go for less. Now, the bigger guys, they probably get them in like the 70s. Who knows what they get them for, so they can sell them a little cheaper. But eventually those run out. The supply runs out. I mean, I think it's probably getting to a point where if you want to be in on them, it's probably a safe point if you're getting in the 90s or something. But no, I don't have any. I'm likely going to get some just because it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, there hasn't been a Charizard product ever really do poorly. Even as bad as my opinion, as bad of a set as like Darkness Ablaze is, it's still roughly what 140 a box. Obviously, Brilliant Stars is doing great. If you go back and look at specialty products with Charizards, I mean, Charizard usually does well. So even though this is like a kind of mass-produced product with all the the Charizard promos, everyone's going to have them. I still just can't see it performing poorly in the future. Is it going to be like the best performer? I'm not saying that, but I just can't see in the long term losing money on it or it not appreciating at some point. That's where I am at it.
Well, here's something I find most interesting about it. So in terms of MSRP prices versus wholesale, it's obviously different when it comes to distributor. Also, I do have a question. Whenever I talk, can you mute your mic, just because with the way in which I'm setting it up, it just has like an echo in the background. And same goes with when you talk. Got
it.
But sorry about that. I just could hear the echo of myself through your mic. I was like, oh crap, I should probably get rid of that. But here's the crazy thing. So wholesale prices, it depends, of course, the distributors. With one of the big distributors that I predominantly use, they're selling it for $89.99 as wholesale. So it's one of those things where if you're selling it at $90, that's not even wholesale if you're buying from them. However, there are some distributors that are selling it for as low as $78, but like you were saying, there's still no margin in that. So either they're directly losing money or they are breaking even is their best case scenario, which doesn't make any sense to me why you would take that approach, because I feel as if, let's say hypothetically, right, you are buying it for that $90 price point. You are on the kind of worst end of it. Well, if you just break it down, right, you don't have to say to yourself, oh, I'm going to try and sell the sleeves and the dice and all that kind of stuff. Like, just scratch that, right? You've got 16 packs and you've got 3 promos. And if you take the average of the 3, they're roughly around $20 a pop, right? So if you're buying it for $90 and you've got $60 in values purely off cards and your shipping and fees is not going to eat that much into it, when it comes to, having decent margins on product like that, you're maybe going to, lose like, $8 or $9. Your pack percentage that you're getting the prices at, it comes out to like $2 a pack. And there's, evolving in there, and there's some brilliant in there, and there's some other products. So I'm surprised people don't take that route instead of just breaking it down and just selling it like that, especially considering the fact that how expensive it is to ship. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, the stance that a lot of people are taking with that. But to be fair, we are just around the corner of Black Friday and, Christmas. So I do think that, people flash selling for liquidity is definitely playing into that as well, on trying to, get rid of inventory. Your mic's not on. Your mic's not on. You're muted.
There it is. There, forgot. No, I think it's like a huge thing right now with the Black Friday and the end of the year. You know, a lot of companies are just going to try to get whatever revenue they possibly can into the business by the end of the year. And even if they are taking a loss or breaking even, it's just a way for them to move product. You know, get it out of their inventory, get cash flow back in the bank to buy into new products that come out. And if there's any time of year people are going to spend money, it's going to be now. And you know, because Christmas time's kind of like just buy now, throw on a credit card, ask questions later, try to figure out a way to pay it off later. And then also after the new year, you always have like the New Year's resolution people who, you know, now we're gonna start budgeting. Now we're gonna be smarter with our money. We're not gonna spend so much on this and that. We're gonna, you know, kind of put things off. And so yeah, I mean, I think a lot of prices we see now you're not gonna see those a month from now, you know, a month and a half from now. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be something that's going to happen with the Charizard UPCs. A lot of these ETBs that are like at $25. You know, there's a lot of product right now that's just kind of, I hesitate to say floor, but pretty much as low as we've ever seen it go. Can it go lower? Sure, but this is pretty much the lowest we've seen.
How close would you say you've been following the market while you've been away?
5 out of 10. About halfway engaged.
Have you been keeping up to date with all of the Black Friday deals going on with all the big box retailers and such?
Yeah, some of them. I know like Target's got a lot of awesome deals. Yeah, I mean, I haven't made any moves yet on anything. I still haven't bought anything in the past couple months. Like I said, I like saying that 5 out of 10 engagement. I don't feel comfortable enough without really knowing anything. I've just been kind of seeing some content, seeing some headlines, you know, kind of surfing, seeing some deals, trying to pay attention to, you know, where, you know, get on TCG Player and just kind of seeing the price action of certain things, just staying somewhat engaged. But that's another reason I haven't made content. Kind of like I said, is I just don't feel like I've been engaged enough to make good content to actually know where the markets are at and everything. So yeah, I mean, you'd be able to tell them a lot more than me on that one.
So one of the deals that's going on, people are just talking about and asking questions about it in the chat, is Target just announced that they have a couple of ETBs that they're selling for basically a wholesale, $25. One of those being Brilliant Star. Wanted to get your opinion on what you think on getting it at that price.
I think it's a good price. I mean that we can have some fun with this. Do you think ETBs are just done? I mean, do you think? I mean, I've been looking at all the ETBs of all the recent sets, other than like specialty sets. So I'm not talking about anything specialty, but any like regular release set with a booster box. The ETBs are like all. I mean, I've never except the like that like semi crash of when everything kind of got real cheap in Pokemon. I remember some ETBs got in the 20s, but I never remember ETBs being in the 20s, like ever. I mean, 30s were the bottom. You know, 40 was always retail, 50 was always retail for the specialty release products. And it's just, I mean, I can't believe how low all this stuff's going. And it's not just one set, it's like every set. I mean, it's, you know, it's the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 sets are all in the 20s, it seems like. And so I don't know. What are your thoughts on ETBs moving forward? Do you think that product is just going to kind of, you know, go by the wayside and just be a average performing product if underperforming, or do you think it still has good legs?
So it's funny, we did a video on it about a month ago, and one of the things that we noticed, some of the average prices for ETBs historically was around the $30 price point, give or take. It could be 28, it could be 32. That was kind of what you saw traditionally for market. One of the things I feel like a lot of people are not taking into consideration, because I feel like there's a tendency to have such short-term memory loss when it comes to like looking at what's going on right now and comparing it to what's been going on even within the past year or 2 years, you know, to 5 years. You know, and with all this being said, when you're following what's been going on with reprints, within the past year, what reprint have we had? We've had a Evolving Skies booster box reprint, which was tiny, like tiny, tiny, tiny. It was, standard wave. I was getting 45 booster boxes, and for the reprint wave, quote unquote, I got 8. And it wasn't an order item that was readily available for backstock order. And so for that reason, there just wasn't a ton of it around, right? Other than that, there's been 0 booster box reprints that have been available. But within this past year, what reprints have we had for ETBs? We had a Evolving Skies reprint, a Brilliant Stars reprint. We had another wave for Pokemon Go. We had another wave for both Astral and Lost Origin. We had Vivid Voltage reprint. We had Shining Fates reprint. We had a reprint for Darkness Ablaze. So we've had roughly around 8 or 9 Elite Trainer Box either reprints or extended waves come out, which is insane to think about. We've had so much of it. And now everyone's saying, oh, well, do you think that changes the outlook or the future of Elite Trainer Box value? Because, historically, take out the storage component of it into consideration. When you look at the long-term value, ETBs tend to do better than booster boxes. Well, I think people forget for the first 3, Shining Fates, Vivid, and Darkness. And these were products that were more or less cut in their overall prints because of COVID, which is why you saw that they were extremely expensive when it came to their print. Of course, lesser of Shining Fates because it is a specialty set, so they don't have booster boxes, so they focus more on the ETB. But Vivid Voltage was at $100 for the ETB. Darkness Ablaze was at $140, which is absurd for an item that was only, a little bit over 2 years old. So it was definitely something that I feel as if was taken out of proportion because people are like, oh, they're printing them more. But no, they had just not had a wave 2 for ETBs for those sets. And they just came out with those wave 2 once supply chain issues started to get better. Now, obviously, with the most recent ETB reprints, right, with the, Evolving Skies and the Brilliant Star, it is definitely quite curious. Evolving makes sense because it was obviously going up and it was around the same time as the booster boxes, but it is quite curious that they went with Brilliant as a reprint considering the set itself was still sitting slightly above MSRP, so it wasn't getting out of control. But I would definitely say that right now, it has less to do with the fact that we're seeing ETB reprints, because if we know the Pokemon Company, they love to do things all at once. And so they've done just that with ETBs. We're still waiting to see what they're going to do with booster boxes, because you bet once there's a booster box reprint that people are going to hear about, whether that be Brilliant Star, Evolving Skies, whatever that is, you're going to see 7 more news reports of, oh, there's also a reprint for this booster box, this booster box, this booster box. So, ETBs are getting their due right now. And I think that we're just currently waiting for booster boxes to get their due next in terms of reprints. Because, going back to it, we've only had one tiny one this entire year, which is very unusual that we would be, waiting this long, especially right before Black Friday.
Yeah, and I mean, anytime also the contents of the box are more valuable than what they're selling for, it's always a good time to pick it up, in my opinion. I mean, you could literally sell like the 8 Brilliant Stars packs for more than what the box costs, I think, at this point. Then you also have the sleeves, the dividers, all the other little stuff, the actual box itself. I mean, it's really weird when the markets kind of, have those capitulations where the product is worth less than than all the contents inside, and because normally it's supposed to be the sealed product is worth more than if you kind of gathered up all its contents and sold them separately or opened. And when things get that far on sale, yeah, I mean, it's always a good buy in my opinion. I do think it's funny in the chat. I've been following around. Are we trying to pump Steam Siege all of a sudden? Is that the next set? I literally had to jump on eBay and go search. I'm like, oh, it's about where I remember it. I mean, I don't see it pumping. Are we trying to pump it? What's going on with Steam Siege? I'm out of the loop.
Oh, it's just been a running meme for a while. So one of our guys, Tyrone is his name. He basically is always memed about like Steam Siege being his favorite set. It's one of the best sets of all time, yada, yada, yada. and this whole entire thing, and now it's more or less just kind of become a meme in the chat about Steam Siege, best set of all time. Is it investable? Should we buy into Steam Siege? Because, you know, obviously everyone knows how, you know, bad it is. I think, and I'm going to say this live here on stream, I think if you guys want to really go crazy and if you guys want to have some fun, I am 100% down to try and coordinate a full-on buyout of all the Steam Siege cards for the entire set. If you guys want to be a part of something that like is going to blow up in the Pokemon community and all of a sudden Steam Siege singles quadruple in price, I am 100% down to do something for the memes. I just thought I would say that now because I was thinking about it. Because if you look at like the most expensive cards, right, for the set of Steam Siege, as I mentioned before, you can easily buy the entire set for straight up $100, give or take, right? Depending upon what condition you're getting in. And if you look at some of the more expensive cards, like one of the most expensive cards near mint condition, it's 3 pages. And if you're saying 3 pages, I mean, that's like what, $300 worth of product when you average it out. If you want to drive it all the way up to like the $20-ish price point, like it sounds crazy, but it would be the funniest thing if you just had a coordinated push of like everyone just straight up buying every Steam Siege product. And I'm not even just saying like, oh, just buy Steam Siege, like the top most expensive cards. I'm talking about we buy out everything. Just, I don't know. I just thought about that at this moment because I think it would be kind of funny if something like that were to happen. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with Steam right now.
I am 100% down with that. We'll be like the Wall Street bets of the Pokemon hobby, and we'll just start, you know, placing bets on these just beat up assets, and you know, run them up, and then everyone will be, you know, freaked out. And I think that's a fun idea. I think if we can get like a GoFundMe together, and we'll all get in on it.
That's a great point. Yeah, we would have to do a GoFundMe on it. I'm trying to see how I'd want to coordinate that. So I feel as if we would definitely have to GoFundMe it in a way where I could be like, all right, guys, here's our goal. We're trying to raise $10,000, and you have to do it either one of 2 ways, right? Either you raise a GoFundMe and you spend $10,000 just to buy all the Steam Siege, and then you just pay dividends to people, or you just create like a mock list of individuals willing to sign up and pledge a certain amount of money to buy Steam Siege. And then like on the day of when it happens, then everyone has to, like, you have to trust that everyone's going to do it. So I don't know. It's interesting to think what would kind of be the best method for that, you know?
Like I said, I am 100%, 1000% down. If we could figure out something, I would love to see Steam Siege start to break out. I think it's time. I think it's put in its time. It's been you know, it's been around for what, 6 years now. I think it's paid its due, and Steam Siege is ready to blow up.
Corey said that he would super chat $100 right now. He's here's the deal, Corey. I'll make you a deal, and I have an idea, and you're gonna hear this live first. If you guys are serious about this, TCG is going to be having a Black Friday deal. With their Black Friday deal, yes, I know. With their Black Friday deal, they're probably going to give like 10% back in bucks if you're like a TCG like member, right? If you guys are serious about this and you want to coordinate this, we can talk about this after stream, or we can talk about this more in stream, but I am 100% down to get a membership just for the day. It's like $6 and just go absolutely crazy on buying Steam Siege product. And Corey, if you were to donate the $100, bro, I will 100% make a live out of it on Friday. Like, I will do Steam Siege buyout live will be the video, and we can make it a whole event if that's something that you guys are seriously interested in. And I'll just straight up just buy Steam Siege if you guys all want to coordinate it, just for the fun of it. That'd be the funniest thing ever. But But yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about it some more if that's something that people are serious about. Because I mean, it's weird to think about. Like, in all seriousness, now that we're talking about it, there are a lot of cards in this set that I feel like are cheap enough to where you could realistically buy it out and you could truly run up the price. Like if you're looking at, for example, the Volcanion EX, right? If you're saying to yourself, all right, well, what's the lowest on near mint? It's around $6-7. You can easily run that price all the way up to $15. And then it only takes 3 pages for you to do so. And then the 4th page after is $25. So if you can average it to where you're buying in at roughly around $12 a card, and then you run the price up to 25, like, I was at first joking about this, but looking at it right now, there's actually a lot of opportunity to make money if you were to do something like this.
Have you ever done this before?
Bro, this is a first time experience. I have never done a buyout before. I know how it works and I know what it looks like. So it would definitely be a first time experience. I would know how to do it, but I've never done it. So I don't know. It just seems kind of, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of getting excited talking about it all of a sudden.
So me and a close friend of mine who got into Pokemon with me, we've done a couple of them back in the past with PSA 9 cards. And man, it's crazy, but it does it does work that way. I mean, the first one I ever did it with was with Team Rocket Dark First Edition Dark Magneton, like one of the ugliest cards in the set, right? Like no one cares about it. And you know what we did was, because it was such a low pop on PSA 10s, there was like none available. There was like one on the market for like $4,000. That was it. And all the 9s were going for like in the hundreds, like $170. And there was only 11 or 12 on the market. And we literally just bought them all in one day. And over the course of a week, there were a few more listed. And they were all listed like a little higher, like 200 and like 230. Every time one hit the market, we just bought it. And eventually ran the price all the way up to where they were getting listed in the 300s. And they started selling just, regularly. Actual people were buying them. And so it got up to the point where we started selling them in the 400s and ended, I believe we ended a couple over 500 by the time it was over. And then the price, I mean, months later, the price had crashed all the way back down when everyone realized it and started dumping. Everyone figured, I got a PSA 9 Magneton, and started throwing it on. But for a short window, it actually does work because, I mean, yeah, me and you, we both have, you have more subscribers than me, but in the big scheme of things, it's thousands of people. 4,000, 3,000, 2,000 people. But the people who shop on all these sites, it's, millions. And not everyone watches our channel. Not everyone knows what's going on, or, the word doesn't spread like that. And so all they know is they got on, they've been following cards, maybe cards they wanted, and all of a sudden these cards are double, triple, quadruple, and that FOMO kicks in, a fear of missing out. And then you'll start seeing sales of $15, $20, $25 on those cards. And you'll think it's fake or something, but it's not. I mean, it happens. It's human nature, and it's crazy when you see it work. I mean, I've done it like a few times back in the day, and it's a fun experience.
What's your Friday look like?
This Friday?
Yeah,
I'm off on Friday.
Do you want to do a live Steam Siege buyout stream?
I mean, I'll definitely throw some money in for it's kind of like Wall Street bets, right? Just to be a part of it.
So Big Papa, he has an idea. He said every 150 donates gets you a master set or sealed product equivalent. Does that sound fair? So I'm thinking what I can do is we can do it either one of two ways. Either you can just be a part of it, and I'm going to, of course, live stream. We can all sit down and we can pledge a certain amount that we're going to do. And I'll pledge, here's what I'll do. I'll pledge to buy out at least one of the top products. So basically, like, however much that calculates to, like a Volcarona, for example. if I look and see there's 10 cards per page, I'll buy out all 3 pages of it. It's going to roughly probably cost me around $350. So I'll pledge that amount for my own personal self, right? Because this is dirt cheap, guys. Like, I'm not saying everyone has to come in and spend like several $100. Like, anyone could literally pledge $20 and you could probably buy out like a whole thing of commons. Like, I am 100% down to pledge that amount. And according to Big Papa, he said that everyone who donates 150 gets you a master set of product equivalent. If that's something that if something that were to happen, you would have to donate to me via PayPal, however, because with the way in which it's set up through YouTube and they pay me out only once per month. So I just got paid out literally yesterday. So you'd have to wait a full month before I could access the funds. So if you guys were to want to do that, what I could do is this. I could go create a listing on my website, and the listing will literally be Steam Siege buy-in, and I will make it $1 per unit, free shipping, and then you just more or less are donating as much as you want, and then that money is then returned to you. It has you put in your shipping information, and then based off of how much you donate in, I can give you that equivalent in Steam Siege product. And we could like make it a whole thing. Like, we could make, like, I'm not even kidding you, like we could make this a whole thing in terms of, whatever it looks like that we're, of course, specifically wanting to give people. But yeah, if we want to, we can also do every 150 get you a master set, or whatever that kind of looks like. I'll have to kind of try and figure it out more within the next day or two. But yeah, I think we can make this a whole thing, man.
I mean, here's the thing is, I'm looking at like some of the cards, like the Gardevoir, the Volcanion. Guys, I saw some stuff in the chat about like who really cares about Steam Siege. This stuff is selling. I mean, whether they be light played, minor played, near mint. I mean, like on the 19th, 5 of the Volcanion sold. Then 2 on the 18th, the 17th, 16th, 15th. I mean, this month there's been like, I don't know, 30 of these cards sell. Gardevoir's even more. And so it's like these things are still selling. Even this old XY one of the worst sets in XY Steam Siege set, these cards are still moving. And you can only imagine what would happen when people realize that the prices are going up. The cards are leaving without them. Pretty soon there's less and less available. The FOMO kicks in. I mean, it would be a little fun. I mean, that morality thing always kicks in. Like, what if there's collectors out there who truly are just trying to complete their set and need one of these? And I get that. So, don't spew all the hate. I get it. I mean, I don't know how serious we really are right now. Eli seems pretty serious, but I don't know how serious all this is.
Here's the deal, guys. If you told me that when Wall Street Bets happened, how people would be so pissed because everyone invested in GameStop and they never got the opportunity to invest in GameStop, right? Like, people were not pissed about it. They thought it was the funniest thing. They thought it was a huge troll moment. Obviously, it caused a short squeeze. Let's be honest here. Steam Siege is a meme, as arguably next to Crimson and the other black and white set, Emerging Powers, as they're all in the running for some of the worst sets of all time, right? And so it's one of those things where it's like, how funny would it be if we were to just buy up all of Steam Siege? Like, listen, guys, like, if you can sit here and say all you want, like, oh, it's gonna upset people because like all those people that want to collect Steam Siege aren't gonna be able to, but let's be honest here, guys. It's ranked one of the worst sets of all time for a reason. People aren't collecting it. There's a reason why the cards are so cheap. So I don't really feel immoral about it because it's not like I'm purposely going out and doing this whole big thing. And if you guys want to as well, I can make it a giveaway. If you guys are like, oh, I want to donate to the cause, and rather than I'm going to just buy some on my own behalf, if you want to make it a whole donation, I can make it a full-on giveaway where basically you donate a certain amount and we have a large pool of people that have donated into it. And then I will just basically do a drawing the day of, once everything's been bought out to a certain extent. And then based on however much product we bought and stuff, I will give it away to the top, 5, 10, however much we think is realistic. Obviously, I'll have to cover the shipping costs, but that way people don't feel as if it's, oh, we're doing it all as a vested interest to make money. Like, obviously, if we can not lose money, then that'd be great. But at the end of the day, it's freaking Steam Siege. Like, this is not some big brain play to become millionaires off this. This is just like, hey, it's been a meme in the chat for a while now, and people have talked about, best investment ever. Why don't we make that meme a historic day and and I'll just buy it out. I don't know. And I'm being dead serious too. Like I know that like maybe you guys are not serious, maybe you are, but if you guys are legit about this whole thing, I am 100% down to go in and do something just for Omega Lulz.
I mean, you're making this at a really good time for me because I do have a lot of extra cash just lying around right now. So I could definitely have a little fun and throw it into some Steam Siege. Would we also have to hit eBay and make sure we hit eBay as well? Or is it just TCG player?
No, we would just do TCG. I feel like the markets are pretty disconnected. Like, you could potentially see some people like notice what's going on if they are split buyers and they could throw it up. But I mean, to the extent of how we're going to do this, I feel like it's something that's not truly that concerning, because this, like I said before, going back to it, if you can be coordinated enough in properly running this up, like, let's say on Friday, right? I know some people are like, oh, other people are going to catch on. They're going to all buy it out right now. But fine, do that. I don't care. I'm going to buy it. Whether you want to buy in right now, whether you want to buy it on Thursday or Wednesday or Friday, when I'm going to probably end up doing this whole entire thing, and I'll try and make a big deal about it. But, if you're buying in and you're trying to get ahead, you're not getting ahead, you're contributing. So you're just missing out on bonus bucks because you spend $6 and then you're going to spend another $300 and you're going to get 10% back on everything. Like, you just miss, making an extra, 30 or however much you're going to spend on it. So for me, it's just more or less an opportunity, like I said, going back to it, to make a huge meme out of it. And I don't know, I would say, looking in too deep enough to what's going on with people bringing over their eBay and stuff, because a perfect example, right, and I'm sorry I'm ranting a little bit, but if you look at Shining Fates, for example, when they did the Drizzile buy-up, the Drizzile card itself was for a month just sitting at that like $25 price point. Wasn't going down. Even new listings were selling it for like $25. Now it's come back down to reality, especially since there have been so many reprints. But why wouldn't at that point people on eBay just absolutely tank the price? Instead, what ended up happening is the price on eBay ended up going up. People took it off and they were like, oh crap, I'm going to instead put it up on eBay for more. So I feel like it could potentially cause a trickle effect, kind of like, how GameStop and AMC kind of worked together. I think you could do the same thing with, TCG Player and eBay.
Or if we want to kick it up to the next level, I just looked while you were talking. Looks like there's about 13 booster boxes of Steam Siege left on TCG Player and about 16 total on the market on eBay, ranging from about $275 to $400. So we could always just buy out every single booster box still left on the market today and set a new price if we really wanted to take this to the next level.
Well, I mean, that's something we could definitely do. I mean, we could straight up be like, and that's the thing, like I said, I will go on the website, I'll make a listing if there's certain people that want to donate, and I'll make a giveaway of it. Or if you just want to pledge yourself to buy a certain amount of Steam Siege, if that's something you care about, then sure, we could do it however people want to do it. But at the end of the day, the whole idea is we're going to buy everything Steam Siege possible. It's not, oh, we're only going to buy the top most expensive cards. We're only going to buy the booster boxes. We're only going to buy this or we're going to buy that, right? Obviously, if we don't have enough funding because not enough people are getting into it, then we have to be selective. But if this is something that people go absolutely crazy about, then yes, we're going to buy all the booster boxes. I'd be interested to see how many packs are there. There's a decent amount of packs. The packs might be a little bit harder to do. I mean, you could drive up the price, but I highly doubt that someone's going to come in because there is a listing. There's 2 listings for $6 for 78 packs. So unless you have some big whales that are really wanting to get rid of those 2 orders and spend over $1,000 on packs, which, I mean, if they got past that, they would jump the price up from $6 to $8. So I mean, but even then, I feel like the best play would definitely be, like you were saying, booster boxes. If we could kind of go with that, and then starting off with the top singles, and then we kind of just go from there and see how many people. It's Corey. He says relist them for 1K each after you buy them all out. I mean, bro, the liquidity for it is very scarce. Like, Nostalgia's right. Like, you look at the first half, it leads all the way up to 300, and then after you go to the last half, it's 320 plus 15 shipped, and 350, then 400. Like, if we were to do that, why not list it for 1,000 just for shits and giggles?
Well, and guys, here's how you have to look at it: is if you start buying them at 273, and most of them are all under 300, you only have a few that you're buying out over 300, so your actual average price is going to be somewhere in like the high 200s. And so realistically, let's say you do list it for like $800, $900, $1,000, and then someone offers you something crazy low, like $500 or $600, and you accept it. They think they're getting a great deal because you're the only one in the market, and they just got it super cheap. But realistically, you still doubled your money on that box, and now there's a completed sale at that price, which kind of reaffirms what the new price is. And that's just kind of the mentality around how these things work. But again, I don't know how serious you are about all this, but yeah, that's kind of like how this all happens. I mean, if you can legitimately do that, enough people don't catch on right away. So even if people because I know people will say, well, there's a lot of product out there that just isn't on the market. People have Steam Siege boxes or cases put away. Yeah, that may be, but it's hard to react that fast, right? Not everyone searches for Steam Siege boxes every day. Even if they had them, they don't know that they're sold out. And there'll be a period of time where it's very slim. And then even if the people with Steam Siege boxes see it and they see that, oh, there's only 1 or 2 listings, they're listed at $600, $700, why would they jump on and list them at 300 again? They're going to list them just under the lowest listing. If the lowest listing is 600, they're going to list it at 575 or something. So it can work. It'd be fun. So there's always a risk involved, but I've seen it work before, so I don't know. That's all up to Eli. He's the mastermind behind this whole thing. I'm just here for the fun of it.
Like I said, I'm willing to pledge at least, I think I said $300. So I'll pledge at least $300 of my own. You guys will see me buy it live on stream. Ben asked the question, wouldn't the booster box being bought out have a residual effect on the price of booster packs? In theory, yeah, that should in theory happen, Ben. I mean, it wouldn't be like an immediate residual effect, obviously, because there is a premium when it comes to buying booster boxes versus buying booster packs. Oh, wait, are you there? Sorry, my screen froze for a second. Okay, cool.
No, I'm there.
Sorry about that. I meant to click calculator and I accidentally clicked Discord. I made sure I didn't exit out. But yeah, because if you're saying the average pack price right now is 6 times 36, that's $216, right? And then you're saying to yourself that right now it's about a $50 premium is the low. I mean, that's a very low premium when you consider it. Because if you take like Cosmic Eclipse, for example, a Cosmic Eclipse booster box is going to cost you roughly around $520-ish, right? And then you're saying to yourself, all right, well, I can go buy packs for roughly around $11 and it's still readily available. That's right there, about over $120, $30 premium. And this is only like a $50 premium. Like, I don't know. It's definitely something.
I think Cosmic's a bad example.
You think Cosmic's a bad example? What's a better example?
When they got printed with that collection box, I mean, it just flooded the market with packs. I think they were. I think it was a closer multiple before that, like a closer premium. I think when the market got flooded with all those packs from those collection boxes, it made the packs a lot cheaper than the actual sealed box.
All right. Well, let me pull up Evolving then. I want to look at Evolving and see maybe if that's. I mean, I would assume Evolving would be a better example. I don't know. Do you have one in particular that you like?
No, I don't. I think any of them work. I mean, what was that? Like was it the Arceus box where it had the Cosmic? I think. I forget. It was one of those collection boxes they released, and it had Cosmic Eclipse packs, and everyone was freaking out over it, and they were getting opened and sold because the value inside was more than the price of the packs corrected. I think I'm almost positive it was the Arceus box with Cosmic Eclipse packs. Could be wrong.
Yeah, no, the Arceus box did have Cosmic. So pack price for Evolving is about $6.50 times
so what
36.
We're gonna do too is we're gonna sell all this.
There's no premium to it. Yeah.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna sell all these through the old card shops channel on Whatnot.
Oh, Digi says r/Pokemon bets. What's that? Is that a Reddit? Do they already have a Reddit channel like this, or do I not know about it? I mean, if someone wants to make a post about it, if that's an actual channel for buyouts and someone wants to make a post about it, and we can get more people in, I'm totally down for it.
I don't know. That sounds like it was just made up. Nah, he was just saying we should create one just for the fun of it. Honestly, though, I don't know. I don't know how many lines this crosses doing this, but I think it'd be fun if we did just like pick on ridiculous sets like Steam Siege or ridiculous things. But I could just foresee so many people having issues with this and so much backlash for doing this type of stuff. But I guess you're right. As long as we stick to terrible sets like this, it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, if somebody wanted these cards or these boxes, I mean, I think they would have them already, in my opinion.
If anything, we should be seen as heroes, because for product that people have been sitting on for the longest time and they hate because of how expensive it is, and all of a sudden we come in white knight just to the rescue, running up the price of Steam Siege. Oh my goodness gracious. People will be like, yes, this is exactly what we want. Steam Siege prices to the moon. The people want it. Like, let's be honest. As long as we have the people behind us, like, and we know that this is the future, man. Like, that's all. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But I mean, like I said before, man, I'm dead serious about this whole thing. Like, if people want to go crazy with it.
Yeah, maybe we'll start like a chain reaction, and then Fates Collide will be next. We'll just move to Fates Collide right after that, and just buy all the Alakazams and the Umbreons, and yeah.
Honestly, I think the next one would easily be Crimson Invasion or Emerging Powers. Like, easily. Personally, I love Emerging Powers even more than Steam Siege, but we're gonna do Steam Siege because of the meme. If you go look at Emerging Powers right now, if you want to just take a look at it, the most expensive card in the set itself is $7. In Steam Siege, the most expensive card is like 30, and then after that it's like 12. So if you're saying to yourself, all right, well, we've got two cards, one's $7, one's $5, and then after that everything is $3, $2, $1, and then it just keeps going down from there. Like, and if you're wanting to even talk more about it, the current amount of listings on Emerging Powers are 3 pages. The last page has the price running all the way up to $20, and the first 2 pages, if you buy them out, they run the price up to $10. So it literally is going to cost you roughly around $170 to buy it out and run the price all the way up to double. So Emerging Powers is a way better buyout, but it's, yeah, good point, average player. It is also a much smaller set. But like I said before, the whole intention here is, you know, sure, it'd be a meme to do Emerging Powers, and I would love to do that in the future as a better buyout. But as it stands right now, I just think because of the meme, you have to do Steam Siege. Like, I don't know, we could do a poll and see, like, of the 3, which would you guys prefer to do a buyout of, Steam Siege, Crimson Invasion, or Emerging? But I feel like it would be disrespectful not to do Steam Siege, since it's become such a meme, especially at least in this channel.
I mean, I think the whole meme thing aside, I think Steam Siege is still a better set to target, just because this is just me thinking like business minded. Emerging Powers was before like the original boom and like evolutions in Pokemon Go originally, like in 16. And also, if you like, I was looking at some of the cards, they don't sell as often as Steam Siege cards did. I mean, only about maybe 12 or 15 a month, whereas Steam Siege was over double that. So I think there was just more people in the hobby during XY, and so a lot more people are still remember Steam Siege and know, and like I just think it still has a lot more base of actual buyers that would, you know, go back and want the Steam Siege cards if they started getting bought out than Emerging Powers. Like, just at the point we're at in the hobby. That's my 2 cents on it. I mean, Crimson Invasion, same way. I mean, that's when even more people were in the hobby. They all know how bad that was, but there's still cards in there I'm sure people want. So, I mean, Emerging Powers is definitely, I agree, bar none, a worse set. It just is, but I don't know how well we could get out of the cards after they rose in price.
No, I think you bring up a really good point, honestly. Yeah, if the buy volume's not there and the supply's not there and it's an older set and, you know, there's not a meme around it, then there's not power around it, you know? And if you look at Crimson compared to Steam, right? Like Crimson, its most expensive card is the Gyarados, and that's $30. But then after that, you still have a Water Energy and a Lusamine that's also worth around $30. So like the top most expensive cards in this set, there's more expensive cards in this set, bar none, than there is with Steam Siege. And obviously that attributes to the fact that one, you know, a Gyarados Rainbow is still a card that people desire, and then 2, people like golden energy cards to collect. So there are cards that are desired into that. So that would be something that would be a harder buyout. So yeah, I definitely think you're on track with that. In terms of just general buyouts for choosing Steam Siege over the other one. John says, better buyout the card of the Gardevoir, Volcania, or Steelix. You want to give your 2 cents on that?
I mean, probably Gardevoir, and not just because it's more expensive. I mean, everything's relative, so, you know, for that to go up 50%, it's the same as another card going up 50%, the dollars aside. But I think Gardevoir is still actually somewhat of a popular Pokemon over a Volcanion and Steelix. So I think it actually does have the room to run. I mean, I think there's probably Gardevoir collectors out there, or, you know, just there's people out there also that just collect the most expensive cards in the sets. I mean, everyone wants like to collect the hits in the sets, whether they be the super rare, secret rare, rainbow, whatever it may be. They're, you know, kind of like those rare chasers. And so yeah, in my mind it'd be the Gardevoir, but if we can do them all, I mean, that's kind of the best of both worlds, because that would kind of give that illusion too that the whole set's rising. It's not just one buyout, it's kind of like the whole set is rising in value. But yeah, I'd be more prone to the Gardevoir if I had to pick one. What about you?
Well, obviously in my mind, if we're gonna do this, I feel like we have to do near mint. Just because, you know, light play, moderate play, that's gonna dive too much into it. Obviously, if we get to a point where like this just becomes massive and we're sure, let's buy everything out, then great. But I think near mint has to be like what's realistic. And with the Gardevoir, if you look at it, the first page, you know, you've got the most expensive on the first page being 50, and then 40 9 roughly, but everything before that is in the mid to upper 30s. And then once you've completed that entire page, then it goes all the way up to 75 on the second page. So the overall supply is extremely thin for near mint. And when you look at the sales, like, Nostalgia was saying, there's active sales almost every single day for this item. So this isn't just something that, we're just going to buy this out and no one's ever going to want to buy it in near mint condition. Like, this is a card that actively is being bought out. So, I definitely would say that the Gardevoir EX Secret is a really good one. But if we want to also take a look at the Mega Gardevoir, right, with the market low being roughly around $8, and then the first page runs up all the way to 10. The second page, like I said before, the second page runs up to 13, and it isn't until the final page where you can run it all the way up to 25. And if you get rid of the 25 value cards, there's only 2 of them, then the world's your oyster. You've bought everything out. It's literally, hey, average price is probably going to cost you around $10. You can buy out the first 2 pages for around $200, and the last page is going to cost you, more. So it's going to cost you about another $80, $90. And then after that, the next listing is a graded one for $40. And then after that, it's $500. I don't know why someone has a list for $500, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of really good. I think there's a lot of really good ones, but yeah, especially at the top.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you right now. Have you refreshed your TCG player? So before, when I was just looking, there were no sales today. Okay, there were not any sales on 11/22. Now we've got already 2 sales on the Gardevoir. There's a sale on the Volcanion. There's 2 sales on the Steelix. I mean, I think it's running away without us.
Hey, as long as it's just a couple of buys here and there, then that's fine. But we want to make this a huge coordinated effort on Friday. That's what I'm thinking.
3 near mint copies of the Gardevoir full art have already just sold right now. 11/22 since we started talking.
The secret?
The full art. The full art. There's 3 sales at $864, $765, and $899 literally right now. We need to talk about these things off stream. Get our ducks in a row.
Yeah, right. Hey, guys, calm down. We got to coordinate this. Come on, guys. We got to coordinate this better. We must stay focused, guys. You forget what month it is. Come on. This is the month of focus. If you guys know what I mean. This is the month that we should coordinate this all together and work as a cohesive unit to get this done. Who wants a Yelvettle break? $1 a pop? Bro, I wonder how... Bro, like I'm not even kidding you. It's like $2. Oh my god, you could buy out the Yelvettle break so easy too. Wow, there's so... Bro, first page of... Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. First page of Yelvettle breaks, it's going to cost you $30. Next page, it's going to cost you probably about another $30, $40. And then after that, it's going to cost you... You'll triple the price once you get to page 3. Like, bro, it's crazy. Your mic's muted, by the way.
I was gonna say, because then the question becomes, if all this works, like, what happens to the graded market? Like, what does a PSA 9 go to? Like, do people start realizing, like, oh, the PSA 8s and 9s, they're way undervalued now? Like, is there a grading craze? It's just, there's no telling how far up the ladder like something like this can take it. It's just funny to like set it in motion and watch it go, because I don't know. I mean. And then the question becomes, where does it stop, or does it stop, or is there a big crash, or is it just a small correction? I mean, I don't know. We all saw how long eventually now GameStop, AMC, as everything's dropped, but all that lasted a long time. There was initial run, there was secondary runs, it stayed up for a long time. I mean, there's just no telling like the life of its own something like that can take on. So who knows? Maybe it just rises Steam Siege up and it reaches a new price point, and that's where it stays. I mean, be fun to see. It would be fun to see.
I mean, here's the deal, right? We obviously right now we've got about 65-ish consistent viewers to 70. We've been ranging around the 60 to 70 range for the stream, right? If you're saying to yourself, hypothetically, we grow this and there's like 1,000 people that are like, yeah, I'm down to do just $1, right? And then you've got like, of those people, like at least 50 of them are like, yeah, I'll pledge like 50 to $100. The amount of, and you know what I could do too, just for shits and giggles? John, you there? He's one of our moderators. Let's find out the market cap of the near mint conditions, and we can come up with a vested value of what the market cap is for singles if you want to make a data sheet for it. And then basically we can do that for singles, and then we can do that for booster boxes, and we can see what the true value is and know what our kind of goal is, so that, hey, if you want to buy $300, if you only want to buy $2, $10, whatever it looks like, go for it. But I would definitely love to see the market cap, because if we can calculate what the market cap is, and then from there just kind of say, hey, who wants to pledge X amount of money to be able to like get this thing rolling off the ground, I mean, I feel like we can set ourselves up at that point, because then we're like, oh crap, guess what, guys? It's only going to cost us $2,000 to buy out every single near mint holographic card or better in this set. I think you definitely have to do, I don't know. I feel like, do you think we should just purely stop at just the like EXs and better, just because the population for, the holos is probably so much greater? I don't know. Where do you think we should stop?
Yeah, I don't think we should move into like the lower tier cards. I would say just the high end cards, like secret rares, the full arts, things like that. Like, I mean, any card that has like a value under a couple dollars. I mean, what's the most you're going to push it to? I mean, I guess maybe it could go to $10 plus, but I think you can see a lot larger run up on the actual rare cards, because they are. I mean, XY, yeah, it was printed a lot more than black and white, but nothing near compared to what we see now. And so there's a good chance there's not infinite amount of these near mint XY cards out there. There's just not. And so those can get pushed up in near mint condition relatively quick, in my opinion. I mean, a secret rare, one every two boxes maybe is what you get a secret rare out of an XY. I mean, you wouldn't always pull a secret rare. So I mean, and there wasn't as many cases and boxes back then, so same with the full arts. It's kind of not quite like it's not like an alt art, or like a rainbow. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, the amount of product printed in like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, maybe it's more of like on a rainbow rare level ish, compared to what's actually how many of the actual near mint raw copies are out there. But yeah, I think it's definitely doable.
Well, so we've done a booster box break for a couple of the XY era sets, like Ancient Origins, Roaring Skies. And one of the things that I would say I noticed was a theme, and we had actually discussed this too when the break was happening. The EX pull rate was you got basically 2 EX as a booster box, and then you got 1 full art a booster box. So it wasn't like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get like 10 EXs like what happened in the Sun and Moon and the Sword and Shield era. Like, the pull rates were a lot harder, and then the conditions too for a lot of the boxes were a lot worse. And like you said, I feel like we have a lot in our favor here, right? This is a low demand set. This is a set that obviously, sure, it's in an era where a lot of the products being hyper printed, but this is one of those sets that was just so low demand and no one wanted it, that I would like to make the assumption that they didn't print it into the ground like they did with Evolutions. And on top of that too, you're also saying to yourself, all right, well, if we just want to break it down to, EXs, breaks, full arts, there's 23 altogether. That's all we would have to do. And if you just take into consideration that, all right, the top, just literally the top most expensive one's $32, and then if you look at the lowest one, $1.30, $1.40, $1.47, $1.50, like straight up, you're talking about easily being able to buy some of these out if we're just going only near mint copies for like $100, $200. So, and then of course we would eventually like to do this with booster boxes as well, because you know there's such thin volume for the booster boxes in terms of, or such thin supply. But
yeah, the booster boxes, I think it'd be somewhere around like 10,000 if you wanted all of them on eBay and TCG Player.
Yeah, we just go TCG, man. We don't need eBay.
You don't think so?
I mean, we could, here's the deal. If we really wanted to, we could bleed into eBay, just because like there's such an overwhelming amount of people that are like, yeah, let's do this. But like I said before, they're two separate markets themselves, and they can sometimes bleed into one another. So if hypothetically speaking, let's say the price of, let's say there's a bunch of sellers that are selling on TCG and they're selling on eBay, and they are selling their product on eBay, and they're valuing it at $300, right? $400, and their product's been sitting forever, right? They haven't been able to sell it. It hasn't moved, but they also have a listing on TCG for around, less or however much. Well, if we do a complete buyout, there's a possibility that one, listings from eBay could get taken down because they're selling that same booster box on both. And then two, there's also a possibility that you're going to see people that do sell on both that are only listing on eBay, for example, because let's say the premium's higher on eBay and they're like, oh crap, well the premium's now higher on TCG Player. I'm going to take my listing off eBay and I'm going to go put it on TCG because now the price per booster box shot up to $1,000.
Well, not only that, actually what'll happen is people will start doing our job for us, and there'll be arbitrage happening. And so people will just they'll be on TCG Player, realize it, they'll go on eBay and say, oh wow, why are these idiots still selling it for $260? And then they'll start buying them out and just flipping them on TCG Player and just doing the arbitrage for us, and they'll just buy out eBay for us at that point.
What do you think? Should I put up a poll and see how much people are serious about this? Do you think I should throw up a poll and see what people's thoughts are? Because I hear a lot of people saying that they're down for it, but I mean, we gotta see if people are legit about this.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna quickly throw up a poll. Question is, how do I want to name this poll? How do I want to name this? So for those of you guys that don't know, that are joining in late, we are doing a poll about Steam Siege, right? And we're going to say, would you participate in a Steam Siege buyout? And it's going to be quite simple. It's just going to be a yes, and it's going to be a no. Has nothing to do. We're not going to ask for money value on how much you're going to donate. We're just going to say, hey, are you willing to just buy some Steam Siege? I'm going to say buyout, just so that people know, on Black Friday. Just so people know that's when we'd want to do it. And I didn't do any corrections, so if I have any typos, bunch of weird caps all over the place. But let's find out. Let's see, of the 60 viewers that we have right now, obviously not everyone's going to be able to do it, but let's see what percentage of the viewers that are like, yeah, I'll throw in a couple of bucks, like $2-3, just buy a card, be a part of it. Or some people are like, oh, I'll go crazy, I'll spend 100. But I would love to see where we are just based off of what the viewers are wanting.
Is that 100%? Got our first no. Honestly, this scares me a little bit. If this many people are on board for buyouts, what's the future of the Pokemon market look like from here on out? Are we just in a consistent Wall Street bets scenario at this point?
I mean, this isn't even that scary though, because it's not like, oh my goodness gracious, let's buy out this product that we think is high demand because everyone wants it. This is a very much so, hey, how would you like to be a part of a historic meme? This is the meme. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I know this sounds, what's the word I'm looking for? I know this might sound hyperbolic, but I wouldn't be surprised if this really took off this would be talked about in the Pokemon sphere. You would hear people potentially like Rudy, or you could see someone like SM Pratt talking about what happened to the price of, because if all of a sudden the price of everything Steam Siege just gets run up all the way to like $100 from 30, like there's no way people are not gonna talk about that. Like, I'm just saying, like it's entirely possible this could straight up be something that makes headlines.
That's what we're here to do.
So we're about 23 votes in, and so far we're looking at about 74% of people that are saying yes. We got to get that number up, guys. Come on.
I think the price targets too is what makes it fun. It's like, you know, if we're talking about like tens of thousands of dollars, like that's not fun. That's stressful. That's like you're having to calculate every dime. But like, if we're talking a couple $100s to buy out a card, I mean, what is the worst if that card went to zero? It's a couple $100s, like, and that's not going to happen. Like, what's the worst case? There's people out there that have massive amounts of these and they flood the market and it doesn't go up at all. It maybe drops a little bit. Like, okay, so but best case scenario, what if it does double, triple, quadruple, and make a few $100s? It's fun, right? It's just fun. I mean, it's not like we're playing with crazy amounts of money or crazy products or anything that's in high demand that like. Someone can come at us like, oh, now the kids can't get that for Christmas. Well, your kid wasn't playing with Steam Siege anyway,
Here's my thought of this, right? Here's how I look at it. One, the overall value of everything is dirt cheap. If you're someone that's like, yeah, I'll pledge $2, $3, right? You can go buy a couple Hydreigons and you could contribute, right? So super, super low barrier for entry, right? And then what is the risk? Okay, if you're someone that donates $3, $4, $5, oh, big whoop, price goes to zero, $3, $4, $5, but the price isn't going to go to zero, right? The worst case scenario in my mind is it just goes down to the price that it was at before, right? And then you lose out on whatever the marginal spread was at that point. But at the same exact time, if you're buying out everything, it's not going to be an instantaneous all of a sudden it goes back down to that price, right? Like it's going to have to linger for a little bit. So if you say Steam Siege booster boxes, or let's say the Gardevoir, right? Let's say the Gardevoir is $30. We run it all the way up to $75 or $100 or whatever that is, and we list it at that amount, and then slowly people catch on and they slowly start to list it below. Like, guess what? If someone's like, oh, this is outrageous, I'm going to list it for $30. Well, don't worry. We'll just buy it back up for $30 and relist it. Like, we'll just be like, okay, like, don't take this away from us. So I would say from a propositional perspective, I mean, of course, if you are a part of this, only risk what you're willing to lose, but it's not one of those things where you're going to be losing like thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, because we're talking about, I wouldn't be surprised if you went and you did the math that the total market value of all the EXs and the like secrets and everything of this set are roughly in the range of anywhere between $1,000, $2,000. So if you're saying you've got 20 people hypothetically on board for this, and everyone's just like, yeah, I'll throw in $100, like that's only 20 people. Like $100 is the worst case scenario. But if you have 1,000 people and each person's like, I'll donate $1 or $2, like you're not losing out on anything.
Another thing is, I've been following this closely now. When we started this, no full art Gardevoirs were sold today. 2 more just sold. We're at 5 total have already sold within the stream.
Come on, guys, take advantage of the bonus bucks if you're gonna do this. Wait till Black Friday.
They're all near mint. Like before, it was like light play, iron play, damage, light play, near mint. Today, all 5 that have sold are all near mint. So it's hard to say that's a coincidence. I don't know. 5 Steam Siege Gardevoir selling within one day in an hour. I mean, it's a little strange, no?
Oh, Northwoods just joined the chat. Oh, let's go. He said, I just got here. What am I in on? Oh my goodness. All right, so here's the deal, Northwoods. Here's the deal. Nostalgianomics is back. And to celebrate, we're going to meme it up, baby. we are going to coordinate. And if you want to be a part of this, Northwoods, please let me know. I will totally invite you to this. But I want to do a live stream on Friday because it's Black Friday. And there's going to be a bonus buck special for TCG. I'm assuming it's going to be probably around 10%. What I would like to do just for the meme is we're going to coordinate a complete buyout of all the EXs or better in near mint condition from Steam Siege because of the memes. So if you're in for this and you want to partake in this, and I don't know if you're available on Friday. If you want to come on the live stream and just like chat about it and joke about it with us, then you can. Or if you're like, oh, I'm too busy because you got family stuff, then obviously that's okay. Just buy in with us or check in when I go live with the stream. But if that's something you want to come in on for, man, and you want to talk to your followers about it, I mean, bro, let's go crazy with this. Let's see how many people we can get on board for this thing.
We need to rally as many Poketubers to our cause and all just pitch to our communities the Steam Siege buyout is real and active. And yeah, we just need to see how far we can run this thing.
I would love this so much. Well, here's the thing too. I know I have a lot of friends, right, that are like semi into Pokemon or like not really into Pokemon, but they know I do it. And I can easily pitch on them because they're memesters and be like, yo, I've got a meme for you guys. So there's this amazing set, right? Amazing set. Everyone I would tell them the reality of the situation, but they would find it hilarious and they'd be like, yeah, I'll throw $5 into it. Like, here, take my $5, you go buy it, just give me the card when it's ready, right? I could easily pitch it to my friends that are in for memes just so that they would be a part of it. Like, no question about it. So I feel like you could easily make this bigger,
Yeah, and so what I'm noticing so far, I don't know what this means, but the full art Gardevoir is selling the most. So it's not the secret rare Gardevoir, the most expensive. It's not the Steelix, the Volcanion. It's literally the full art version of the Gardevoir, the Mega Gardevoir EX full art. Literally, I mean, it's just weird why that one's selling like 5-6 copies, but the other ones aren't really. I don't know. It's weird. The other ones all have a couple sold now, but I don't know. Could mean something. That could be the front runner in the future.
Well, like I said, I'll do 300 myself. And so for me, 300 is enough to fully buy out the secret. So if you guys want me to be the one that just buys out the secret, and that's kind of like the canon, that's like the canon signal where I'm just, boom, let's go, baby. Then like I could be the one that starts with there, and then we just immediately go. Northwood says he's going to spread it around. Let's go, baby. He's in for the buyout. I love it. he thinks it's fun. I love this, guys.
I mean, man, if this isn't fun, I mean, for people, I don't know what is. I mean, this would just be... It'd be a good time. Like you said, it'll get people talking around the community. I'm sure we'll get hate from some of those people in the Pokemon community, which is always fun. I mean, I'm no stranger to that, so that's always a good time. And yeah, I think it's a great way to kind of end out 2022. I can't think of a better way than a Steam Siege buyout.
Fern says, each person buying in, are you going to do a GoFundMe or what? Okay, so that's the great question. So like I said before, here's how I'm going to structure it. I'm going to make a listing on my website, and that way people can directly go purchase it through my website. And it's literally going to be like Steam Siege Buyout is going to be the name of the listing. And it's going to be $1 is how much it's going to cost to it's going to cost $1 per unit, and obviously the more you buy of it, then that's the more you're donating. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to, based on however much value I get out of this, I'm going to do a Steam Siege giveaway, and the top 3 or 5 or however much money that's donated to this, I'm going to just give that back to everyone. So think of this as like you're donating into the meme. Or if you're like, I don't want to donate, and you're like, but I want to be a part of this, then that is totally fine. You can totally do that yourself. All it really does by you donating to me is it just gives more coordination to it, right? Not to mention too, if I'm the one that's in charge of buying it and I'm going out and I'm buying the membership for the like $6 a month to take advantage of the Black Friday 10% back, then I get more bucks to be able to, of course, give back to you guys when I buy out products. Because everything I'm doing, like, this is not like, hey, Eli, let's make a ton of money. Like, for myself personally, at least, this is let's make a meme out of it. and however much we can coordinate this the most appropriately to where we can all be on the same page, like that's kind of what I'm for about it. And if I can, like, hypothetically, right, let's say I get $1,000 altogether donated to me, right, and then all 1,000 of that gets spent on Steam Siege, I get 100 bonus bucks. And then when I'm able to spend that 100 bonus bucks, I can either buy more Steam Siege, or I can just buy product that I can then use as a giveaway to also give back to you guys as a part of the additional bonus bucks. Like, it's all going to be given away to you guys no matter what. I'm not keeping any of the proceeds. Like, this is purely just for, like, for the memes, you know?
Also, this is also financial advice.
Hey, calm down here. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Coca says he's willing to throw in a few $100. All right, right there, few $100 just bought out 2-3 freaking EXs. That's all that means. John's probably hard at work. I saw him message saying he's on it. He's gonna come back to me with a sheet, and we're gonna see. I don't know how long it's gonna take him, but calculating rate, cap, and screw work right now. Okay, cool. So he's gonna come back to us. And if you want to, John, if you want to share that, if you want to send me an email and share that with me right now so I can share it with everyone else, just so we can see what total market valuation is as you work on it. And I can, like, post it later just so that people can actively see. But not financial. This is not financial advice, but yes, this is. But yeah, I want to definitely.
You're prepared. We could both be, like, two of the most, like, hated people by all other community after this. Just so, I mean, I'm cool with it. I just want to make sure you are aware of what you're doing right now.
People are not going to hate us. Like I said before, man, people would hate us if we bought up a bunch of, I don't know, what's a good example? People would hate us if we did a live stream of going to Walmart and buying up all the... People would hate us if it was Halloween and we did a buyout where we went door to door and we took all the trick or trade packs. Or we went to Walmart and we bought up all the product in our area. Hey guys, we're going to do a trend. We're going to buy up all the product in our area so the little kids can't have it. Like, that's how you're a monster, right? Like, that would be bad. But when you're saying, like, hey guys, there's a meme, Steam Siege, worst set of all time. Do you agree? Yeah, I know. That's why prices are so cheap. Hey, you want to do something funny, like kind of how GameStop was, like, literally about to fail and then people bought into it and it was hilarious? Like, let's do that, but for, like, Pokemon, which that would be the equivalent to Steam Siege. So, you know, like going back to it,
5% of people that said no, you don't have to, like, put money in. Like, you can go buy them yourself. So if you guys want to go buy out those cards and hold them yourselves, do that. Like, you can still be a part of it if you don't want to, like, get into the actual, like, official thing, because it's all basically help. So anyone who wants to be a part of it, you can do it on your own, do it with the group, whatever. But no, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm anxious to see it. I think it's gonna be really exciting to see it when it works. I mean, I think, like, the accomplishment's gonna be better than any type of, like, you know, I guess payout or gift that anyone wins or whatever.
Well, if we're just saying right now, 65% of people on this stream right now are going to partake in it. That's 31 people, right? And that's not including you. That's not including me. And if some people are going to donate, like I said, we already got a couple people that are willing to donate $100. And, you know, some people are like, yeah, I'll throw 20, I'll throw 50. Like, bro, this is not, like, this is already building up. And that's just from this live stream. Like, I'm going to make an announcement in my Discord about it. You're probably going to make an announcement to your viewers. I'm back, baby. Let's come back with a bang and have a Steam Siege buyout. You've got Northwoods who's going to also do it, and he's still throwing a couple $100 himself too. So it's like, if we can all pool our, like, people to really come in and do this, like this is crazy, right? And you know, like I said before,
I guess the donations get high enough, we just move on to the booster boxes.
Well, that's the idea. It's baby steps. We start with all the EXs are better. And if all the EXs are better get bought out, then we move to booster boxes, right? Because if I'm saying I'll throw in like 300, and how much do you think how much are you willing to throw in? Your mic's muted.
Yeah, I can match that. I don't care. That's fine.
All right, so he's going to do 300. I'm going to do 300. We know Northwoods is going to do a couple hundred. Let's say hypothetically a couple's 200. Digi said that he was going to do some. Koga said he'll throw in a couple hundred. We know just based off of us like 4 or 5 alone, we're going to have 1,000 at the minimum. 1,000 is going to buy us out like at least more than half, if not all of the standard like EXs or better. So I think our goal to hit the booster boxes is definitely achievable. The question ultimately at that point comes down to this. If this is a coordinated buy, I feel as if I need to make sure, okay, all right, hold on. I'm thinking about this, right? So if you're able to break it down, right, when it comes to the EXs and stuff, you can break it down into, hey, I'm going to either spend $300 worth of buying that card, or I'm going to spend $5 of buying that card. You can't do that with booster boxes. With booster boxes, that's where all the donated money has to go. So that's kind of where my mind is, right? Because if you're saying to yourself like, hey, I want to donate $5, right? But if we hypothetically buy out all the cards first, and then someone wants to donate $5, but they don't want to pay into the donation pool, they just want to like go and buy out the product, they can't because we bought it all out and they don't have enough to go buy a Steam Siege booster box. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about it, but I mean, so what you're saying though is basically everyone's just kind of gonna be giving money though. Like, I mean, if the price is all, I'll do double, triple, quadruple, or whatever. I mean, and you sell out. I mean, are we like?
No,
sending those profits out, or sending at least like the original investments out, or how are we doing that?
No, like I said before, how I would do it is you have one of two ways, right? If you're someone that is only going to want to do $5 or $10, you want to be a part of it, you're not here to donate, and you just want to go buy yourself, go buy the cards that are worth $5 or $10. If you're someone that has $200, $300 and you're saying to yourself like you want to go buy a booster box, then you can go buy a booster box, because presumably speaking, like I mentioned before, if you're just going to spend $300 on the cards, obviously we're going to buy out the cards faster, but then we wouldn't be able to buy out the booster boxes, if you know what I mean. And maybe we don't shoot for booster boxes. Maybe we're like, hey, let's like stay focused. Let's just buy out the cards. If we get there, we get there with the booster boxes. We could do that too. But the point I'm saying at the end of the day is the whole point of the donations is that we can pool the money together to be able to buy out the booster boxes, because now your $5 goes towards giving the booster boxes. And at that point, everything that I get, I just give away. It's none of the proceeds would be kept. It would all be, hey, I'm going to take all this product and I'm going to see how much money is donated, and I'm going to buy that amount, and then I'm going to take that, and then we're going to do a drawing for it. Or if it's fun too, everyone, and it'll be a drawing of, we can either do it a drawing of whoever donated, or if people are like, oh, well, let's do it for everyone. Or what we could even do too is we could do a booster box break. And every time you donate, that enters you into getting a free pack or whatever, or however much you donate is how much you get for a booster box break of Steam Siege. Like there's so many creative ways on how you could do this. Obviously, we want to do it in the most ethical way to where people feel comfortable to donate, which, I mean, people have been following me for a while and have been buying me for a while. Like, I mean, you probably trust me at this point. Like, do you really think like someone like myself is going to do a getaway on $1,000, $2,000 of donated money to buy Steam Siege booster boxes? Like, there's so many better ways to have like an exit scheme to this, right? So it's like, I feel like people at this point that would be donating would be trusting of the fact and would more or less be like, all right, I just want this to be coordinated so we can do this most effectively. But Northwood says move over to Troll and Toad also just to clean up most of the market. How is the market on Troll and Toad's Northwoods? I want to look into that as well. Your mic is muted, by the way, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I wasn't saying anything. I'm just sitting back and enjoying my first day back and all the shenanigans that are happening. It's nice. It's good to be back. It's good to be back, and I think we need to spice this this hobby and this community up a little bit. I think this is needed. I think everyone's gonna have a good time. I think it'll get people excited and talking about something, especially when everything's been relatively flat or lackluster lately.
Seriously, let's take a look too and see what they got for Steam Siege product. I'm just curious how you're going to filter it. I assume you just go Steam Siege near mint. If someone wants to give me a direct filter on how we can do this, but oh yeah, it'd be so cheap to just go and buy. I mean, there's not a lot on Troll and Toad. There's literally, oh my gosh, the listings on Troll and Toad are so few and far between. Oh yeah, you could easily buy out all of Troll and Toad too if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, we should actually like gather the links and just leave all the links like in our descriptions or something of our videos, and that way everyone can just like get linked straight to the near mint of everything if they do want to buy out on their own and don't want to like do with everyone, because any help is going to be appreciated. I mean, just to see it, just to see those charts all of a sudden take a upwards momentum turn, it's going to be pretty funny to watch.
So here's what I think I can do, right? Here's what I have an idea. What I can do, and this is what's great about having my business, having it run on my website, is I have some people asking, hey, can I have just a master set? Or hey, I'd be down to buy into like a break. So what I can do is every time someone donates in, I can just have them, you have an option to leave a comment at checkout, and I can just do that where people just leave a comment, hey, I want this money to go towards buying a master set, or hey, I want this money to go towards buying into a break. So I could totally do something like that. Also, as well, what we can do for those that don't want to buy in and you're just wanting to partake in it, we can compile a list of priorities of places to buy out. So like TCG will be first, then Troll and Toad, and then potentially eBay. But here's the question I would say when it comes to eBay is, if you're trying to do this, if you're going to do eBay as well, one of the biggest concerns would be, hey, if I'm only wanting to buy out near mint conditions, you're going to have to go and you're going to have to sit there and be like, yeah, I think this one's in near mint condition, right? Like maybe not. Versus TCG player, Troll and Toad, filter, near mint, boom, done. You don't have to worry about looking at it. And, obviously with, questionability on what's actually near mint or not, it doesn't matter because the whole point is buying up the filters. There is no filter for that for eBay. You can just filter it by however you want based on your search term,
Yeah, for booster boxes, that's going to be a lot easier to just go site to site and buy booster boxes. But nah, for near mint, eBay's, that's kind of, kind of go off topic for a second. That's kind of like the gripe I have against like the whole, sealed product over buying like raw to grade. It's like, when you're talking about like buying raw to grade and then flip the graded cards, that is bar none by far the best way to make the most amount of money. Like for, you're not going to make that as much money as buying a sealed product, letting it sit. You're going to buy more if you find, cards undervalued, ungraded, grade them yourself, sell them. The problem with that is that's like a part-time job. I mean, you're going to spend hours and hours scrolling through pictures, blowing them up, looking at them. Sometimes you still can't even see it all. Then you have to message the seller, say, hey, can you send me a picture on a black background, the white background I can't see? You're going through all those steps. Then you finally get them in. Then you got to send them in to grade with PSA. Then months later, you get them back. Then you got to hope the market's still where it was. Then you can flip them and make your money. So yeah, I mean, going in the raw and trying to go on eBay and look at everything, that's going to be a mess. That's probably not the way we should go.
Yeah, no, I think TCG player is definitely the main focus of it too. The only other thing I will say that will have to be taken into account is for the quote unquote like donations, if you were to go on the website and do it, obviously there is a fee that's incorporated. So if you donate like $7, right, then there's going to be like a 60-cent fee, which is 30 cents plus 3.5% or 3.4. I can't remember how much it is. So that's another thing you'd have to take into consideration, because if someone's like, hey, can I...
website?
What'd you say?
What is that, your own website?
Just in general, when you do sales, like when you do transactional sales. So unless I were to do friends and family, unless I were to set up a PayPal where I just did direct friends and family, or I were to be like, yo, Zelle my bank account, which I mean, I could do that if we're really trying to penny pinch here. So, yeah, I mean, it just depends, you know? Otherwise, people would have to be okay with paying like an additional 30 cents on top of everything just for the fees if they're spending only $6 to donate, right? Because that's how it works. The fee structure with PayPal is like it's 30 cents plus 3.4%. So if you're saying, all right, I'm going to donate $6, that's 30 cents minus, that's 570, and then an additional 3% fees. It's really just the 30 cents. So at that point, if I'm like, all right, that money's going to go to a booster box and we're trying to coordinate enough to buy a pack, I can still get it in a way to where everyone can do it. I just don't want to get my butt burnt on the back end by having to pay each and every fee. I feel like I can structure in a way where as long as I'm transparent about it and explaining, then people are not going to care because I'm the one that's obviously allocating where the funds are going. You know, but it's, I don't know, that's still something that we just need to air out and talk about. Northwood says you should set it up on a PayPal with FNF to save. Yeah, I think you're definitely right. So what I can do is I can just send a link for my own personal, I can send a link to my personal PayPal and that's how we can structure it. I'll just have to, I'm just curious where I would link that. I guess I could do that to this video. I'll just make an announcement in the Discord and then be like, yo, here's the name of my PayPal. That, I feel like that's probably a better way to do it. Yeah. You think? I don't know. Do you have any input, Nostalgia?
I don't know. We might need to talk about this a little more. I'm just trying to foresee any issues like that happen with this. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about like $1, $5, $10, like people just having fun, but if people are saying they're wanting to like do hundreds of dollars, you might start getting into those gray areas of, you know, kind of being responsible with other people's money type thing.
Well, as long as people consent to understanding what the situation is, because here's the thing. I mean, whether it be my YouTube channel or my product, right? I'm always fully open and transparent on what I'm doing, right? So what we can do is we come up with a proposal on how it's going to look. We'll make that as an announcement on the Discord and be like, hey guys, here's what we're going to do. If you want to buy in, we're going to buy in and go live on the live stream at this time. And we can talk about it after what that's going to look like for us since you're free on Friday, right? That's when we're going to start the buyout. If you want to contribute because you want to help us buy into more expensive items, because let's say we buy out of all the cards first and then you want to help buy into the booster boxes, but you only want to contribute $5, that's where we'll do the friends and family link. If you're someone that says, hey, I want to just go buy it on my own, then you can do that. Just go buy it on your own on TCG Player. If you do donate, here's all the contingencies on in terms of how the money is going to be spent. And we're going to divide it into singles versus dividing it into the sealed. And then we can go break it down into what we're going to, of course, do with that product, whether it be a break, whether it be a giveaway, whatever we can do to make it where we're communicating with everyone along the way so that everyone knows what they're doing, everyone knows what they're a part of, and everyone feels comfortable. That's what matters at the end of the day, you know, because, you know, as if someone is just like freely donating without absolutely knowing what this is, then obviously that's a concern. But if we every step of the way are communicating to everyone what we're trying to do here, then I don't think this will have any issues because we're being very open, honest, transparent that all the money that is donated or spent is going to Steam Siege product and being given back through giveaways or free breaks, you know?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a lot more clear. Yeah, I mean, as long as people know they're just like donating for the, I guess, the fun of running it up, and then we are giving away everything at the end, like, you know, just you can't like invest it and then like give the proceeds back based on the returns, because that then you'll get into like, you know, fiduciary responsibility of securities, and you can't get into all that. So yeah, exactly what you said. Just like gonna have fun with it. Whatever happens. We'll donate the proceeds at the end. It's just for a fun, and everyone gets it. So I'm cool with that. Oh, nice. Dan is here. Catch 'em all collectibles. I know Dan wants in on this. Dan, we are doing a buyout of Steam Siege, and I think you really need to be a part of this, man.
I just saw where do I wire my 50K, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so great, dude. It's so funny how this stream was originally supposed to be Nostalgianomics back, everyone who wants to ask questions about what's going on in the market and his thoughts, and then you're like, hey, why does everyone talk about Steam Siege? Is there something about Steam Siege I don't know about? I'm like, it's just a meme, and this is what it's come to now.
I mean, how binding is this? You know, I mean, where do I wire my 50K? I mean, does that mean he's already pledged 50K?
Oh, you said it. You're gonna do it now. You have to. I mean, we've got 56 people that voted just off the stream alone. That's putting us in the ballpark of the mid 30s. So right there, baby. We've got a lot. We've got a lot worked into this.
Swami's taking the other direction on us, but hey, Swami, we still appreciate you being here for the fun, even if you're not getting involved. So I know you love all this type of stuff, all this Pokemon and money talk, Swami.
Your average player. Yes, I need my financial advisor here. Uh-oh, big player is here to clean us out. I just upped my troll into a price on Steam Siege. Oh no! You bastard.
Come on, Dan. You can either be part of the solution or part of the problem, okay?
That's the worst. I mean, that's the thing, man. Don't start buying until Friday, folks. That's what I'm saying, guys. We're going to coordinate this. I'll make an announcement. If you aren't a part of the Discord, then I highly recommend you join the Discord. Links down in the description below. I'm going to make the announcement there. And I'll make the announcement on YouTube too. So if you're a subscriber, you'll also get that announcement. And I will lay out the explanation of how this is going to happen, and then we'll have links, and then once it hits whatever the time is that we said that the live stream was going to go live, then it's time to go crazy. That's when we will go crazy with this. But please, ladies and gentlemen, understand that this is supposed to be coordinated, and we're going to do this on Friday. Don't start getting ahead of yourself and start buying right now. Because we want it to be one just snap. Just, all of a sudden, all the prices on these cards. And it'll be so fun, too, watching it live. Because if this is something where we're on this live stream and literally we just keep clicking refresh, and all of a sudden the price goes from $10 on a card to $100 because of it's gone and people just have listed it, that would be the funniest thing just to witness live.
Well, here's the thing though: is do you actually own any of those like currently?
Any what?
Any of the Steam Siege hits? Because I was thinking like we almost need to you almost need to have some listings up, just like list them at $50 to see if they start selling.
I have 0 right now. I have 0 listed. So if you, of course, so what we can do is once everyone's bought and this whole coordination has happened, then we can obviously start having discussion about people having their own inventory and listing it. Because here's the concern, right? If you're saying to yourself, hey, let's all do the buyout, and then all of a sudden, I love how my face froze like that. And then all of a sudden we're like, now that you've bought it, you quote unquote own it, relist it. Well, if all of a sudden the person that you sold to realizes the buyout happens and they try refunding you before and they relist it for more, then it's like, that's a little bit of a bummer. But also at the same exact time, if you're saying to yourself that more than likely they're not going to catch on to that, and there's only going to be a few refunds here and there, those refunds are probably going to come with them upping the price to whatever the new market is. So we can easily coordinate it where step by step, the first step is buying it out. And then, hey guys, once we've bought it out, you can start with your listing. And we can break it down on what we think is a good market price to list it at for the new price, just to meme off of, whatever that. Oh, I've got a great idea. Oh, this is great. The only prices, are you guys ready for this? This is so stupid, but I love this, right? The new prices have to always end in 6, 9, or 420. That is the only time. It sounds dumb, but that is how you will have to new price it, right? So if a card, for example, it's a $10 card, right, and we want to 4x its value, you gotta list it at $4.20 or $42, right? Or you've got a card that's worth $20 and it's gonna go to $69, right? Or you've got a card that's worth $1 and now it's worth $4.20 or $6.90. Or I mean, you could do that for pricing. Or if you're like, you just want pretty round numbers, I mean, the world is your oyster on how you want to relist all this,
Yeah, and what Eli said about like the whole like waiting till Friday, like I get this is all just for fun, but like when you're doing real buyouts, it has to all be done at exactly the same time. And the reason for that is, sellers and stores, they'll have like things on circuit breakers where they'll maybe have 10 copies, 20 copies. They'll only list like 2 or 3. And when those all sell, they reevaluate what the prices are at and they'll relist at that price. So if you were to buy things out Wednesday, Thursday, and bought out some of those sellers at like, I don't know, $6, $7, $8 a card, and then they realize, oh, it's at 12 now, they're going to start relisting more at 12 and it's going to get more expensive and more expensive to buy it out. So really like wait until Friday, because if everything is bought out at once, if those sellers do have like circuit breakers in place, they'll look and see that, oh, now it's at $30 and they'll relist at 30 or like $1 or something under. They won't relist like $1 over what they had it before. So, but if you kind of do it slowly, then it'll just slowly kind of build up at those higher prices and it really won't work. It'll work, but it'll just cost a whole lot more and it'll get maybe too expensive. So that's what Eli's saying is please try to wait till Friday if we are going to do this, because that'll make it all go a lot smoother.
Not to mention too, I think we're big enough of a community, like if we have everyone all in on this, that this becomes legit, but we're also small enough of a community to where I feel like if everyone can stay hush hush about this in terms of like making it go, how do I want to say, viral for all of a sudden people listing all their Steam Siege. Like if we can get that balance of everyone coordinated in on this and on the right page where we can all unanimously buy it all out at once. And then if people want to go crazy, they can start listing it for like 4 or 5x what the original price is just for like, the memes, then that's great. But once again, this entire thing, everyone has to be on the same page. Catch 'em all says, what a coincidence. About 100 copies of each of these a couple months ago. Oh my gosh. I hope he's just trolling. But
this would be all over the internet by Friday, could get out of control. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, I definitely know there's some people in here, some of these names in here that are part of like a lot of PokeTubers communities and stuff, and this word will get out. I mean, who knows how many people are, I don't know. Like I said, it'll probably be laughed at, enjoyed by some, hated by others, and it'll just kind of be the same go around as it always is on here. But like I said in my video I just posted, I don't care anymore. I'm just here to have fun and enjoy just being a part of this. I'm not trying to, fit in like boxes or tiptoe around things. Like whatever, people get mad, it is what it is. They can live with it, right?
There's a 50-50 chance Northwood's bluffing. Well, here's the deal, man. If here's my opinion, right? Whether he's bluffing or not, it would be in his vested interest to let this play out, because hypothetically, if he does just have 100 copies of everything Steam Siege, which I doubt it, but if he does, wait till the buyout happens and be one of the first people to list all your cards for 4x value, because then you're making money on it, right? Or if you have current Steam Siege cards listed, just take them off and relist them when it's time to relist them at a higher price. So really, if you want to take part in this as someone who has Steam Siege product and you want to make money off of it with zero downside risk, just wait till the price runs up and then list your product at a higher price. Just wait, that's kind of how I would look at it,
There's nothing I want to see more than Dan to have 100 copies of that Gardevoir and to just make bank off it. It couldn't happen to a better guy.
That would be so funny. Oh my goodness.
I not just want to see him list that many copies. I want to see them just sell left and right, just every day. 2, 3, 4, 5 more sales at that price. I just think that'd be epic.
What do we do for those that are over outside the US? That's another question. Like, how do we coordinate it in that regard? That's where it starts to get a little sticky on if we can, you know, coordinate something like that. Just because it'd be realistically,
We funnel all the money through XRP.
we pay them out in crypto. We're like, hey, if you donate money and you're from, you know, I don't know, the UK or Canada or something, we'll just reimburse you with whatever the profits are when we sell it through crypto. Oh my gosh, that's funny. But we've been going for about 2 hours now, which obviously that was going to be our cutoff. And I think we've kind of exhausted this topic. At this point, we just need to compile data. So I will keep you guys posted on how we're going to officially do this. I will make an announcement both on Discord and I will make an announcement on the official YouTube channel with how we're going to play this out. Once again, once we've done that, of course, I am going to make sure that we're very open, clear, transparent, and on the same page of how this is going to work, because this is a group unit. We need to all be on the same page and able to do this together. But as far as it goes, do you have any final remarks you want to make, Nostalgia, before we start doing our research for Friday?
Yeah, I just want to go down on record. I just like all the arts that much. I just love the Steam Siege arts, and that's why I want to buy so many of them. So it has nothing to do with anything else. I just really enjoy the art on the cards. Anything from you?
I love how your average player says Danny's video on Saturday will be about the price of Steam Siege. I think that would be the funniest thing if all of us on Monday just like created a video about Steam Siege. Like that was Friday. Friday was we all coordinated this, and then our content from Monday was what's going on with Steam Siege. We all just broke down what happened. That would actually be so funny, man. That would be sick. I think you could totally do something like that.
But just be completely dumbfounded on the video, like I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, have the open mouth title. It'd be great. No, in all honesty, guys, everyone who showed up to this chat, I really appreciate everyone. Great welcome back. It's gonna be fun. Gonna try to have content posted, and me and Eli, I'm sure we'll do more videos in the near future together. And just thanks for everyone being a part of the community and having fun. And let's make this happen.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. But I want to, as always, thank everyone so much for stopping by. If you want to, of course, stay updated on everything, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, as I will be making the notification. Or if you just want to enter into our weekly giveaways, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, we post content each and every week for you to comment and like on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But as far as it goes, guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much.